Allow yourself the permission to explore. Hi, welcome to another episode of Mastermind Bites. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Mastermind Bites, I get to feature another incredible individual. And the reason why I have this show is because over the last few years, I've been very fortunate and lucky to meet some amazing people, some masters of their skill sets, from business CEOs to actors, to celebrities, to athletes, and got to be in the same room as them, hear their stories, finding out how they become successful, and then also taking those lessons learned and applying to myself in my business and my personal life. So I just wanted to share some of those stories with you. So for today's Mastermind Bites, I get to feature the actor, the producer, the writer, the very, very funny Mr. Vince Vaughn. Absolutely incredible individual, has so many great movies out there. Some of my personal favorites, Old School, Wedding Crashers, Dodgeball, many, many more, Swingers. And it's absolutely incredible just to hear him speak, some of his life lessons, and also how he became successful, and just the kind of mindset that he has in order for him to overcome certain challenges and adversity. There's a lot of great content out there, and there's a lot of great life lessons that he's offered, but 5 of them really, really stuck out to me. And those are, number 1, you have to be comfortable. And in order for you to be comfortable, you have to put yourself out there. Number 2, the joys of life are the lessons you get from failing. Number 3, give yourself permission to go and explore. Number 4 is don't let people tell you no. Use it as fuel to push and find out what you can do to prove them wrong. Number 5 is what is the overall mission, okay? Fulfill that mission regardless of what the circumstances are. So going back to number 1, getting comfortable, there's one thing that lots of people have seen is that he's able to do so many wild and crazy things on film and in front of the camera. And there's lots of those questions that were asked that, how did you do that? Don't you feel embarrassed? Don't you feel foolish? Don't you feel humiliated? And the thing is, he goes, you know what? You have to put yourself out there. If you're ever self-conscious about those kind of things, you have to work at it. There hasn't been a point in time in his career where he wasn't nervous, or he wasn't scared, or he wasn't embarrassed doing it for the first time. There's always that little bit of doubt. There's always that little bit of nerves that comes up when you're doing something for the first time, or if you're not very confident in it. But if you put yourself out there, if you put yourself out there again and again and again, and you perfect it, and you get more used to it, you get more comfortable, your confidence level will go up. He's always accredited to his parents about putting him into acting so that he's able to get comfortable and becoming able to overcome the stuff that makes him feel humiliated or uncomfortable. And that allowed him to build up his confidence. So that is number 1, getting comfortable and putting yourself out there. Number 2, the joys of life is the life lessons that you get when you face failure. The thing is, when it comes to challenges, you have to face those challenges. And every time you get failure, you're going to use those failures as life lessons. That allowed him to overcome so many different things, allowed him to grow. And when he says that if you hear that tiny little voice telling you about something, maybe listen to that tiny little voice, because that tiny little voice sometimes will open up different opportunities for you to explore. They'll open up different opportunities for you to conquer different challenges. It's those loud voices in your head that sometimes tell you to kind of become safe, or become comfortable, or become laid back. But it's that tiny voice that pushes you. So sometimes listen to that tiny voice. Number 3, give yourself permission to explore. Be curious. He says, be curious, go out there and try different things, which is why he explores different types of genres, different types of characters, different types of roles that challenges him, allows him to grow, allows him to become better, allows him to be more comfortable. And the more you do, the more you start, the more you proceed, the more you push, you realize that you actually have a lot more control over things than you thought you had to begin with. So the thing is, once you give yourself permission to push forward, to explore different things, allow yourself to become more comfortable, build up more confidence, and then learn from those life lessons, because you will fail. But if you allow yourself the permission to do so, then you're going to keep on growing. Number 4, don't let people tell you you can't do something, or don't have people doubt you for something that you believe, that you truly believe you can do. When he was auditioning for Old School, there was a lot of people that told him, you know what, I don't think you're right for the part. You're not funny. You're not a comedian, which is funny because he actually started off as a comedian. But prior to Old School, he had a lot of roles where he was more of a character actor, he was more of a serious actor, and therefore people didn't believe that he was going to be funny enough to play that character in Old School. But he did not let that stop him. He pushed forward, he auditioned, he sent in more tapes, he showed him more proof that he can be, and sure enough, he played a great character on in Old School. And from there, he did Wedding Crashers and lots of Dodgeball and all these other characters that are very, very funny. But he's also mixed in some character acting in there as well with different movies and whatnot. So he didn't let people tell him he couldn't do something. He found a way to overcome that. Number 5 is, what is that overall mission? There was a couple movies where sometimes you don't have controls on certain things. So for instance, I believe it was Internship that he was told that, hey, you have to take it from a rating of R down to a rating of PG. Well, that's a big change when it comes to what you're going to be writing, the scripts that you're going to be preparing, what you can and cannot do on scene. And you know what? In the end, he goes, you know what? I have to look at what the general mission is. If the mission is to get this movie done, we need to sacrifice certain things, we need to change a few things, but we have to follow that mission and just overcome it. So sure enough, he realized that, you know what, sometimes we have to take a step back, follow the mission, get the mission done, and then on to the next thing. So that's what he did. And still, it was a very successful movie, and it's one of those things that he's utilized for projects to come. So those are the 5 big lessons I got from Mr. Vince Vaughn, an incredible person. Just to go back and recap, number 1, becoming comfortable, building up that confidence is to put yourself out there, try different things. Number 2, the joys of life are the lessons you get from failing. So fail often and learn from those lessons. Number 3, give yourself the permission to explore. The more you explore, the more comfortable you get, the more you put yourself out there, the more you fail, the more you learn. It goes into a circle, but allow yourself that permission to go out there and try different things. Number 4, don't let people tell you you can't do something. Figure it out, prove them wrong, use it as fuel to become more and more stronger and more successful. And then finally, number 5, what is the overall mission that you're on? Fulfill that mission. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode on Mastermind Bites. And if you like this episode, please go back and watch some of my other episodes on Mastermind Bites, where there's a lot of other celebrities, athletes, and CEOs. If you like Mastermind Bites, I have a lot of other shows: the Peak Potential Success Show, the Unlocking Your Mind Behind Make More Work Less, and of course, the Make More Mind Bites that's up every single week. So thank you very much for your likes, subscriptions, and your comments. I love seeing those comments. And until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. I'll see you later.